Welcome. My name is Scott Loomis. I am the regional manager for the Mid-Atlantic region for Tech for Learning. We're the folks that bring you Wixie, and this is my teacher's guide to using Wixie to facilitate students' use at home. We're definitely at an unprecedented point in our country's history and with the health crisis that's underway and with the prospect of students remaining away from school for an extended period of time, and I pray for that to be a very short period of time, that students may need to start demonstrating their knowledge, demonstrate their learning as far as to complete the learning process away from school and at home. For districts and schools that utilize Wixie, there are a number of tools and features that would lend itself to again, meaningful opportunity to demonstrate, for students to demonstrate their knowledge using this cloud-based tool. First, and again, as a quick reminder for teachers, Wixie is available on any device with internet connectivity. Laptops, desktops, Chromebooks, iPads, Kindle Fires. I mean, there's even a cell phone view that I think works really well now with this recent update to Wixie that students can be very productive on that screen as well. Obviously, if you're the art teacher looking for the students to demonstrate knowledge, a cell phone may not be the best tool, but for simple things like fluency or recordings or describing something, using simple painting or making simple illustrations coupled with an audio recording can be quite powerful on those small devices. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at or return to the home section here. This is a view in which students and teachers see. The menu is slightly expanded for teachers compared to what the students see. But I do want to visit the templates folder and talk about assigning existing templates or customizing templates. You as a teacher should see a templates folder, which is our Tech for Learning files, approximately 2,000 ready to go templates. Again, use as is or customize. Your school may have files that have been shared from teacher to teacher, so teachers can share within a building where some folks, as well as district curriculum folks or the instructional technology team, they have the ability to post files in the district folder, which can be seen by everyone throughout the district. So if your your school district's been proactive in generating templates and align with existing curriculum, they may be here as well. And let's say that's the case, and I decide we're going to use this Dr. Seuss template. Or how about, let's do this all about school template, for instance. So I open up the template that's assigned by the school as far as it was generated and shared in the district folder. And I have the opportunity, as I would with any template, to assign as is or to customize. When I click to assign, because I'm going to use it exactly as it is, especially if it was provided by the district as an assessment, when I click assign, I get a pull-down menu. I get a window here with a pull-down menu on the right. And if I teach multiple classes, maybe I teach math for fourth grade, for instance, and I see all the fourth graders, I would have the ability to choose my different classes. If I was a library specialist, a media specialist, I might see something similar like this with classes from different grades. When I have the class I want, I have the ability to assign the template to all students, or to just a couple, or just to one. And you'll notice also that the assignment will be available starting today. In this case, it's March 17th, and it's available for 30 days. The moment your students open up the file is the moment they get their own copy and no longer need the template. So I often encourage classroom teachers to minimize this. Now, because of the open-endedness of, again, when students might return to school, 30 days may work. You may just want to do it for a couple weeks. Again, you have the option. You may also want to stagger the start, knowing that this is actually like a second tier to what we want kids to do. So they're going to have 2 weeks to do the first tier, and starting on the 30th, they'll have this work here. So this will be available for, we'll go ahead and modify it for 4 weeks. The moment you press save is the moment it becomes available if today is the first date. So there's no real delay in processing it. This template would instantly become available to students. If you choose to customize this, you get your own copy in which you can do any kind of modifications, adding text, illustrations. You can record your own instruction if you want to modify it here as well. So this basically reads the directions, but you can also do your own to make it any way you want. You can add pages and basically, like I said, to customize it. From here, you can actually go to the File menu and choose Assign. Same menu would show up. Or you can return to the Home section, and instead of going into one of the school folders, you would stay within your projects, and you can assign, I'm going to use those ellipsis dots on the right, from this menu as well. So many places to assign. When you're looking at the Templates folder for Tech for Learning, you can do searches for specific subject areas, So, oops, geometry if I spell it right. There we go. So you'll see that I have a couple templates of my own that have geometry titles, but then all of the others have geometry as indicators or within the name. Now I could even get more specific. If I open up these ellipsis dots over here within the search window for projects, I can actually do a search by grade level. Excuse me. And I'm not going to do the current folder of geometry. I'm going to do basically, I need everything that's third grade tagged. Results for grade. Here we go. So all of these samples, these are mine at the beginning, then my school templates for third grade that was tagged, and then we move into the templates from Tech for Learning, all of which have connections for third grade instructions, flower parts, book portraits, dinosaur days. Basically, many templates are applying to multiple grades. So we know that some districts may, or some states may teach a subject in third grade where others may do it in fourth grade. So it's tagged for both. But this gives you a great indicator of all the templates that would align to the third grade. You can see they're kind of endless. So actually digging into the templates, doing specific or more refined searches, or actually looking into the subfolders here. You know, if you're going to go into language arts, you can go specifically into reading, for instance, and comprehension, and find comprehension here, templates. Going to back up. We can also go into language arts, reading, and say fluency, and some nice fluency for kids to read as well. This is really nice for use at home too, because of the artifact that it creates with the student's voice, reading for 60 seconds or whatever it may be. Now, in addition to assigning templates, what's wonderful about Wixie is that the students, when they log in, so let's say, for instance, I go ahead and I take this school template, I actually assign it to, I'm going to go up to assign, file and assign. I actually assign it to one, student or class, and I'm going to go ahead and leave the date as today. I just saved it. When a student logs in, the very first thing they're going to see is your assigned template. And there it is. So it is kind of straight away as far as once a student gets into Wixie, without much guidance from you, the teacher, especially if they're at home and on their own, they're going to be able to open up the assignments that you have posted. Okay? So once the students begin working on Wixie, Wixie will automatically save every 20 or 30 seconds to their cloud-based account. What's nice about that is with these saves comes the ability for the teacher to automatically see their work. There is no Dropbox system. A kindergartner who does maybe some type of pattern extension or maybe a retelling of a story, they don't need to save the file, go into someplace and drop it into some box or whatnot. It is automatically made available for teachers, and teachers can access student work, ironically so, under the tab that says Students. So I've selected Students. Again, my class pull-down list is here at the top. If I only have one class, obviously I'm not going to have a pull-down list. When I go into students like Alejandra's work, for instance, I can see thumbnails of her work. And this one doesn't have a picture, but basically this is a repetition type writing activity off of a book called Things That Are Most in the World by Judy Bartlett. Just like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs or Spilled Milk. I mean, even at home, the students can take a book like that, especially if you were able to link to maybe an audio play of that book so they can have it read to them. The students then create their own page that duplicates the pattern. And this was a superlative book. The students did do recording so I can hear it.
The brightest thing in the world is a light bulb.
I don't know if that's playing. I can't hear it on my headphones, so obviously the student read the words for a little bit of fluency. The teacher needs to do a couple things that are extremely important. And that is to A, you probably want to mark it as complete, because if you don't, students could then basically modify, I call it mess up, they can modify the template after you've looked at it and examined it and provided a grade. So marking as complete makes the product go static. And then second, and this is a huge part of this at-home communication right now, is you can provide feedback. So I can go ahead and type in, this is an excellent, I know you're reading when I said project, Alejandra. I particularly liked, whatever you want to say. I liked your illustration. I liked how you changed the font for brightest to something that looks kind of bright. You can go on, and you can press save. And what's nice is when Alejandra opens up this project, or mom and dad, the project will be here where it would be in a normal part of the page, kind of with the workspace. And then over here along the task pane to the right will be your comment. So they won't even see the paint tools because the project's marked as complete too. So they can't make any changes anyways. So an excellent opportunity to do that. Now let's say, for instance, and I'm going to go ahead and cancel it, you want to use assessments instead. Now we have not got into the assessments, which is one of the options. I can do it really quick here, but you can create rubrics essentially and assign them to kids to provide grades. So when I go into the students, I go into Alejandra, I do Charlotte's Web. The kids were supposed to design a book cover and then justify why they thought their illustration was better than the original illustration, not counting sophisticated artistic skills. It still has to have a nice design layout to it. And again, this is actually something I just put together, so it's not really, there's no real value to it beyond kind of an idea of what happens. If you take an assignment and attach it to a template, take a rubric assessment and attach it to an assignment, and come to the grade tab, your rubric, which you've weighted, will show up. All right, so obviously the content, the quality of information to me was the most important, as well as the design and a little bit of behavior, worth like 4%. So this is a heavily weighted one here. And you notice currently, Alejandra's rocking at 78%. But as I click on the different fields, she's got a 96, she's got a 91, she's got a 92, there's 94, she's got a 94%. And again, there's wording available, but you can also customize the words within it, including the titles, as far as the headers for the columns and rows. So it's not a bad option, especially for something open-ended with like 5th grade or 6th grade students or middle school students, to have a rubric available that basically says, you need to identify the 3 branches of the government and explain the checks and balances system, and I want you to do an infomercial, and here's what I'm going to grade you on. All right? So the rubric's built into Wixie for them to access and then for you to use. Lastly, I want to go back to the home section. I'm looking over my notes. I think that's it as far as the most important aspects for this home communication. Again, students, you assigning templates, you accessing their work and leaving feedback are the big parts. And if you're looking for functionality of Wixie, those are overview videos that are in other locations. This is, again, more about the back and forth use of Wixie between students at home and the teachers facilitating that. All right? I wish you the best of luck and good luck. Thank you.